yeah, it seems to me that you are one of those people who had parents who were extremely supportive of whatever it is that you wanted to do, right? And also had at least if you were not rich, at least they had enough money to support you, right? I mean, I read a little bit for the first time, maybe a couple weeks ago, about what your process was in terms of being an actor. I mean, most people cannot support their children to just go out and live in LA, and try to be an actor for 6 months at a time. Right? They just can't do that. Most people are struggling even just to get their kid, even just to put one kid through college, and it's very emotional and it's very hard, and it can just like make everything difficult inside a family, especially if you have more than one kid who needs to go to school. I mean, some parents just like choose, and there's like resentment for the rest of people's lives. It's horrible. You just have no idea. You have no idea. Right, you are yet another one of these celebrities who has no idea what it is that you're talking about because you never had to go through any of it, right? I mean, it's very, very frustrating to deal with someone like you. I'm the one who's going through so much, because of you and people like you. And sometimes, I think that I see something that like makes it seem like maybe you can understand a little bit, but really it's just what is it? You get bored. You get bored in your relationship. You get bored with your life. I can understand why you're bored with your life. I would not want to live the life that you have. As difficult as my life is, it's not. I wouldn't call it boring, because I know how not to make it boring. For the most part, I am grateful just to not be a perpetual mental patient, because I saw people who were all their lives. I'm grateful not to be in jail. Because I can imagine how horrible that must be. I'm grateful just to be able to have like any kind of normality in my life whatsoever, and I genuinely do not need millions of people writing to me every day saying, I love you, you're the hottest thing I ever saw, I love you. I don't need that, right? And I don't need millions of dollars, and I don't need any of that. But it's very lonely the way that I live, very, and as far as like the whole oh, look at this, I just can't even get over this. I cannot even get over this. Look at this. Look at how it just goes on and on and on and on, as if I actually did something wrong, and it wasn't like me who's been the victim the entire time, right? Am I always going to say the right thing? No. Am I always going to give good advice? No. Right? Am I always going to do the right thing? No. But I'm trying to do those things, and I have some idea what that means, right? I am so fucking tired of people like you, so spoiled, so selfish, so self-centered, right? So totally without any concern for anybody around you, right? The millions of people who know who you are, what is it that you know about them? Right? They obsessively follow, you and try to find out everything about you and think you're this great guy, and you're such a jerk. You're a jerk to me, you've been a jerk. I have yet to see you not be a jerk to one of your girlfriends, right? And yet somehow I get blamed for all your bullshit, and I'm so fucking tired of that. And I'm sorry that I'm swearing so much, but I'm just angry. I'm angry. I mean, it's very difficult to deal with somebody like you, right? And obviously you're not just stupid, and obviously you're not just like a totally insensitive person, but you're learning to be that way, right? What are you, almost 30 now? Yeah, you're almost 30 now. So, as far as like this marriage that you're dealing with, engagement, the only thing that I would say about that is that marriage is a big responsibility. I realize that nobody in your industry almost nobody in your industry treats it like the responsibility that it is, but it is. You can even really love somebody a whole lot, and maybe it's not the right time, or it is the right time, but there's other stuff you have to deal with, or whatever it is, right? I am, again, very lonely. My life is very difficult all the time, so I'm not always going to say the right thing, and sometimes I'm going to just screw up or whatever it is. But I can understand that. I mean, certainly you're old enough to get married. She's old enough to get married to you, but you do need to understand it is a responsibility, and it's better to know that before you get married. It's a lot less painful to know that before you get married than after you get married, right? But honestly, I certainly know that I will live without your friendship. I have so far. It's not like you've been a good friend to me. You haven't. Obviously you haven't, right? And I made all these allowances for your age and all this other stuff. But I mean, and sometimes I still think about doing that. But there's like zero progress with you ever. Really, genuinely zero progress with you ever. And you just don't understand any of the principles of what I'm talking about, right? It just doesn't seem to get through to you at all.